When it comes to weight loss, no two people are the same. That's why Noom builds personalized plans based on your unique psychology and biology. Take Brittany. After years of unsustainable diets, Noom helped her lose 20 pounds and keep it off.
I was definitely in a yo-yo cycle for years of just losing weight, gaining weight, and it was exhausting.
And Stephanie. She's a former D1 athlete who knew she couldn't outtrain her diet, and she lost 38 pounds.
My relationship to food before Noom was never consistent.
And Evan, he can't stand salads, but he still lost 50 pounds with Noom.
I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. Even through the pickiness, Noom taught me that building better habits builds a healthier lifestyle. I'm not doing this to get to a number. I'm doing this to feel better.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom users compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
On today's Smart 7, tensions soar in the Middle East, unrest in Georgia after sham elections, and lots more. It's Monday, 28th of October. It's International Animation Day, and happy birthday, Julia Roberts.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Chancellor Rachel Reeves will be delivering Labour's first budget in 14 years this Wednesday, and there's been plenty of talk about it this weekend. It's expected to include tax increases and up to £40 billion in public spending cuts. Rachel's also hinted she'll be redefining government debt and opening up £50 billion in borrowing for infrastructure projects. Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson says this government is all about investment.
It's a straightforward choice between investment or decline, and this Labour government is on the side of investment in making sure that we stop our schools crumbling, for one. That's why in the budget we will be prioritising education priorities.
But Shadow Science Secretary Andrew Griffith, who served under Kwasi Kwarteng's infamous Treasury team, isn't happy. He says Labour's bending the rules.
What we had last week was the government seeking to deliberately break or change the fiscal rules. No consultation with the OBR around that, and have broken their promise on energy. They never asked the OBR to look at things like the winter fuel allowance. That was a fiscal event.
Tensions in the Middle East surged this weekend after Israel launched pre-dawn airstrikes on multiple military sites in Iran on Saturday. Iran claims the attacks killed 4 soldiers and caused some damage to radar sites, but says its air defences prevented the worst. The strikes are believed to be in retaliation for Tehran's ballistic missile assault on Israel earlier this month, which followed escalating violence in Lebanon and Gaza. There's growing fears of all-out war in the Middle East, and British PM Sir Keir Starmer is urging Iran to show restraint.
We need to avoid further regional escalation and urge all sides to show restraint. Iran should not respond.
Meanwhile, Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu says the attack met all its objectives, while IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari says Israel remains on high alert.
Anyone who threatens the state of Israel will pay a very heavy price. Israel and the IDF is at a state of the highest possible alert.
We're entering the final week before the US election, and both Harris and Trump have been ramping up the campaigning. Harris spent her Saturday visiting churches and barbershops in Philadelphia, the largest city in the swing state of Pennsylvania, before heading to Michigan on Sunday for a rally in Kalamazoo. Meanwhile, Trump secured a slot at New York's iconic Madison Square Garden on Sunday afternoon for a rally in his home city. But back at the Kalamazoo, or should we say Kamala Zoo rally, former FLOTUS, Michelle Obama wasn't mincing her words about the former president.
I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little frustrated that some of us are choosing to ignore Donald Trump's gross incompetence while asking Kamala to dazzle us at every turn.
It's election season, and voters turned out in droves for Georgia's high-stakes parliamentary elections on Saturday, which would see the country choose between alignment with Europe or Russia. But controversy erupted after the Electoral Commission declared the ruling Georgian Dream Party outright winners, with 54% of the vote, despite reports of voting violations and violence near polling stations. The 4 pro-EU opposition parties are calling the result a constitutional coup and have questioned the credibility of the results. Head of the PACE delegation, an international group observing the elections, Yulian Bulai described some of the violations they witnessed.
We noted cases of vote buying and double voting before and during elections, especially in rural areas.
Still to come on the Smart 7, all square at the Emirates and Cillian Murphy's back on the big screen. Right after this.
When it comes to weight loss, no two people are the same. That's why Noom builds personalized plans based on your unique psychology and biology. Take Brittany. After years of unsustainable diets, Noom helped her lose 20 pounds and keep it off.
I was definitely in a yo-yo cycle for years of just losing weight, gaining weight, and it was exhausting.
And Stephanie. She's a former D1 athlete who knew she couldn't outtrain her diet, and she lost 38 pounds.
My relationship to food before Noom was never consistent.
And Evan, he can't stand salads, but he still lost 50 pounds with Noom.
I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. Even through the pickiness, Noom taught me that building better habits builds a healthier lifestyle. I'm not doing this to get to a number. I'm doing this to feel better.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom users compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
Welcome back.
It's been another packed weekend in sports. Sunday saw Carlos Sainz win the Mexican Grand Prix and Max Verstappen get a 20-second penalty. In the Premier League, Man City reclaimed the top spot with a 1-0 win over Southampton. Chelsea defeated Newcastle 2-1 and Man United suffered a disappointing 2-1 loss to West Ham. But the biggest match was between Liverpool and Arsenal at the Emirates. Liverpool, fresh off big wins against Chelsea and RB Leipzig, looked set to be handed their first defeat of the week, but a late goal from Mo Salah ensured things finished 2-2 and the points were shared. Liverpool boss Arne Slot was pleased with the comeback.
What pleased me, I said it many times now, is that after having 1 day less to recover, still coming out here and being 2 times behind and then have so much energy to get the equaliser. And afterwards both teams kept on going for results. I think that's why we saw a good game tonight.
Cillian Murphy is fresh off becoming the Oscars' first Irish-born Best Actor, but there's no rest for the wicked. His new film Small Things Like These just had its UK premiere, and he's back on the press circuit. Based on the novel of the same name, the movie focuses on Ireland's infamous Magdalene laundries, institutions often run by the church where women and girls were forced into unpaid labour. Cillian stars as Bill Furlong, a coalman who discovers the dark secrets of his local laundry. Speaking on the red carpet, Cillian says it was straight back to work after his big Oscar win. No time to polish that trophy.
Honestly, I went straight back to work, and it's my 3rd film I've done since there, so that was clearly my coping mechanism. So maybe at Christmas time when I sit down and have a think about it, but nothing's changed for me.
There's a new spy thriller in town, The Agency, starring Michael Fassbender and produced by none other than George Clooney and Grant Heslov. Based on the French hit The Bureau, it follows an elite team training secret agents for long-term undercover missions where living a double life is just another day on the job. It's set to stream on Paramount Plus from November 29th and the trailer's just dropped, so here's a taste of what's to come.
Lie to everyone. Pretend to be someone you're not. Risk your life on a daily basis. No glamour, no exploding watch. I believe there's one type of agent. The insane.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.